Hi friends, this is Joe. This is episode number 203 of the Dekahedron Fanish podcast, and today is a mail call episode, right? I have a whole bunch of feedback, comments from YouTube, call-ins on the calling line. I'm going to answer the entire backlog today. Before we get there, though, just a quick update. So I finally did it. I submitted my first story to Analog. Funny little story. When I was submitting yesterday, I did it during lunch. I work during the day, like 90% of the people. And so I was at lunch, and I finished eating. I had my computer with me at lunch, and I filled out the form and everything. I clicked submit, and nothing happened. But the connection was like really dodgy, so I thought, well, maybe. But I made sure there was a connection. I checked my ad blocker. It's really a privacy blocker, privacy badger. But I checked that. Everything looked good, so I clicked submit again, and this time it went through. Little web page come up, said thank you for your submission, and your submission number, XYZ. And I was like, awesome. And it said, you'll be getting an email. So I checked my email, and I had 2 emails. It went through both times. So I had to send them an email saying, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. I don't know how to click once. And, but you don't want them to think you're gaming the system, right? Like you're going to, hoping to get it to 2 slush pile readers and hopes that one will say yes, right? And you don't want to waste their time. So I sent the email, and from now it's a waiting game. They say it takes 4 months to get the rejection letter. Someone said, hey Joe, why so negative? You should be positive, but in the words of the great sage, hope for the best, prepare for the worst, right? Don't get my hopes up, just get them shattered. But I went ahead and did it. I'm stoked. I'm excited. Wish me luck. Other than that, Valerie and I started watching Widow's Bay on Apple TV Plus. And it's turning into, I think maybe it might be, we're only 2 episodes in, maybe it might be a supernatural thriller type thing. And if so, that comes under fantasy, right? I mean, it's not medieval fantasy, but it's modern fantasy if you have monsters or something. So we'll see where it goes. I'm liking it so far. The humor is awesome. Lots of just quick fire jokes and stuff. And I'm liking it. Good characters. So there's that. So let's do the mail call. On the podcast side, we normally have a jingle that goes into mail call, and I don't normally play it on YouTube because I don't know what to do while the jingle is playing. And so I used to put up this AI animation thing, but I've gone off AI, and so I don't do that anymore. So I'm still going to play it. I don't know what you're going to see.
Mail call from the United States of America.
Hey Joe, this is Jason. I enjoyed your 200th episode. I'm going to try for a no prize, and Marvel Comics style no prize. And I'm going to say that about 12 minutes in, you said the basic D&D went back to the 3, alignment system. AD&D went to 9 alignment. Evolved from 9 alignment because Holmes was the only one that used the 5, and you said the basic D&D went back to the 3. So I'm going to try to use that to get a no prize out of you. But great episode, really enjoyed it. Look forward to the next 200. Take care.
2 things. First of all, you are absolutely right. I did say basic D&D, and if you listen, it might not be audible. I don't know, but there might be a little pause because in my head, I knew that I was about to say it. And I'm like, I don't want to say this, but I came up with different ways to say it. Just D&D. But, I'm also, can't have that long gap while recording. So I just went with it. And I'm like, I didn't feel good about it. I think I actually did it a couple other places too in there. But so you caught that. So thanks for that. As for the no prize, no prize for you. Because if I remember this correctly, and it's my show, so I do. If I remember this correctly, the actual rules from the Marvel bullpen, from Stan Lee himself, were that it wasn't enough to find the error. You had to find the error and then offer the writer a way out, an in-world explanation why that must have been right. And you didn't do that. All you said was, I made the mistake. So no prize for you. But thanks for the call, thanks for the correction, and most of all, thanks for the chuckle. Thanks, Jason. All right, our next call, another call, is from Evil Jeff of Minions and Musings podcast. Oh, I neglect to say that Jason is the host of the Nerds RPG Variety Cast. That's off the air now, but he has like 800 episodes in the backlog. If you haven't listened to him, give it a listen. It's a good show. Minions and Musings is also a good show. It's on kind of a little hiatus right now, I think. I haven't seen a new episode come out in a while, although maybe my settings are wrong. But let's listen to what Evil Jeff has to say.
Joe, Evil Jeff. Long time no call. So, in the car, listening to your latest podcast that you put out. Like the format, talk about more things, so cool. But you brought up the weapon damage again, and a thought occurred to me as I was driving down the road, still driving down the road, hands-free. So, variable weapon damage or standard, everything does 1d6, okay? And you're in the camp of everything is 1d6. Then I'm going to say that all your weapons need to be priced the same, because I see zero sensibility in you having every weapon do 1d6 damage, yet this dagger over here costs 3 gold, and this sword over here costs 10 gold, and this battle axe over here costs 15 gold, this mace costs 12 gold. No, if everything is the same damage, it should be sold for the same price. If you're going to have different prices, I say have different damage. There you go. Chew on that one. Think it over. I'd love to hear what you think. Later.
Hey, Jeff. Thanks for that a lot. I appreciate that. You know, I agree with you completely. I don't know if you were expecting me to disagree. No, I agree completely. And if you read Gem, you know, the little game I put into the Anchorite. By the way, folks, both Jason and Jeff are members of the Anchorite Amateur Press Association. You're all invited to be too. We're going to have an episode coming up with that in the next month or two. Yeah, maybe 3. It's a complicated one because I'm going to have some guests. Anyway, if you read the game I made, Gem, I specifically say in there that characters are assumed to have the equipment based on their facets, right? Which is a rule I stole straight out of Rhesus, by the way, but because it makes sense, right? You don't have to do the shopping. If you're a knight, you have a sword and a shield. That's what knights do. If you're a sneaky thief, you have a switchblade or whatever, because that's what thieves do. You have the tools equipped. No shopping, none of that. So I agree. I do agree, though, that if you're going to have those kind of decisions, they need to provide, maybe if not the combat benefit, some other benefit, or maybe non-damage benefits inside of combat, like reach or something. But, you know, in the episode, I only said the part where in Holmes, with a dagger, you get 2 attacks per round, and the sword, you only get 1. I left out the part that with heavier weapons, like a hammer or whatever, you only get an attack every other turn. So your bigger weapons do worse. If you look at it in a DPS kind of way, yeah. I agree with you. That's the short version. I agree. Thanks for the call. All right, so that was it for voice calls. What you have now are a series of messages that were all left on YouTube from various episodes, and let's get into them right now. This one is from Breng71319, and he says, Seeing this new version really drives home how lucky we were to get deluxe Tunnels and Trolls in 2015. Now that was real TNT. Hey, Bren, thanks for that. Real TNT. Sure, maybe. I don't know. I've not played Deluxe. I think I thumbed through somebody's copy once. I don't have it. I said before that I like my rules and my game worlds to be separate, and the only way they sold Deluxe was with 150 pages of Troll World attached, and I'm not going to pay for that. I refuse. Absolutely, positively refuse. I said it before, I don't need Ken's crappy game world, just like I don't need Gary's crappy game world, just like I don't need the crappy Dragonlance game world. I have my own crappy game world. So, yeah, I feel rather strongly about that. They said that they were going to come out with an edition that didn't have Troll World attached. That was just going to be the rules, and I was eagerly waiting for that, and I was going to buy that. But then Rick sadly passed away and we didn't get it. So yeah, I don't know how good or bad Deluxe might have been. But really, I hate to say it, but as with many games, they start great and then try to fix these little things on the edges, adding complication that don't make it better. And that was the case with TNT. First edition is beautiful. Second, third are almost virtually the same, although the ranged weapons change, right? Fourth edition, I think, is the peak. Fifth edition is where we start to go downhill. And seventh edition, I love the talents from seventh edition. The leveling thing, I have mixed feelings on it. Depending on the day, I'll tell you that I'll love it or I hate it. But yeah, I don't really think it was that much of an improvement. I think first edition is all you need. That's me. But thank you very much for the message. Our next message, and it was actually a series of messages, I've just combined them together, from Too Many Hobbies 8351. And he's talking about, or she, I don't know, is talking about Tunnels and Trolls, A New Age, and they say too much rules and tables. Then they say, I love Tunnels and Trolls. I've been playing solo since 1986. I hate this new version. It's so generic and bland. And then they said, in TNT, they have wands that can kill anything once. No SR. Armor won't matter. Thanks for that, Too Many Hobbies. I agree with a lot of that. Too many tables in the new edition. Yeah, maybe. I can't remember now. That wasn't one of the things that popped up on me, but yeah, maybe. A wand that will kill any. I'm going to agree with you and disagree with you here. Tunnels and Trolls has no magic items at all. Anything you saw was probably one of the solos. Like I've said many times before, solos don't count. They're not part of the basic game. So I don't count them. So you can make a wand that will do that, but then of course you could do that in D&D. So I'm going to pick nits on you there and disagree. But you said that you love TNT and you've been playing the solos since 86. I don't play solos, but yeah, I love TNT. I think it's a great system, and I agree with you that the original is a thing of beauty. Thank you very much for that message. Our next message is by Steve Fugit. He says, good show. I'm a recent arrival and enjoy your channel. Retro DM Ray is a pretty cool guy, and I talk with him occasionally. As for myself, I run a heavily house-ruled white box game, and I'm continually experimenting with its bare bones system. Hey, thanks for that. Yeah, I like the messages that Retro DM Ray has sent to me. I keep meaning to look at his channel. I want to watch a couple of his videos, but I keep forgetting, and they don't show up on my feed. Maybe because they're D&D specific, and I am more of a general role-playingist. All games, you know, Tunnels and Trolls. We were just talking about Gem, my own game. I was just talking about Rhesus. I dropped that name down. You know, D&D is just one of many, and so a lot of the D&D channels don't pop up in my feed. But yeah, I keep meaning to look at it. What was the other thing you said that I wanted to respond to? Oh, you said white box. So when you say white box, what do you mean? Do you mean the 1974 original D&D, you know, that came in the white box? Or do you mean like the white box Fantastic Medieval Adventure game published by Seattle Hill Games that is, pretty much a OSR take on the white box. I'm very curious. Let me know. But thanks for the message. I really appreciate it. We have another message from Mr. Rourke, who says, the best example is Queen of the Demon Web Pits. That adventure is a masterclass in spell resource management. Hey, thanks for that, Mr. Rourke. He is talking about, last episode to this one, I talked about spell resource management. As for Queen of the Demon Web, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Q1. I ran James through that briefly, and even then, not the whole thing, I think, back in 1983, 84, around there. And I don't remember anything other than the map with the overlaying thing, which was emulating a web, and that was kind of cool. But I don't remember how spell resource management worked there. Let me know. Drop me a line, call the feedback line, or if you want, get with me and I can have you on the show. We'll talk about it. You'll do most of the talking because I don't know much about it. Hey, but thanks for that message. Next, we had two messages from someone named James Cripe 1611. He said, this was a great show, thanks. And he said that 13 is a bad number to end with, LOL. All right, so first of all, thank you, James, for that message. I really appreciate it. And secondly, he's talking about the episode where I was talking about the differences between Holmes and AD&D, and 13 being a bad number to end with. I'm not superstitious. I don't believe in good luck, bad luck type thing. Although this might be interesting to have my James, the one who co-hosts some with me sometimes, on, because he wanted to do an episode, back in the beginning when we used to do episodes together, he wanted to do an episode about unlucky dice and dice jails and how you punish your dice and all that. And I said no, because dice are just pieces of plastic, right? They don't, yeah. But maybe it would be interesting to have him on and let him talk about that. Thank you very much for that message. Our next message is from Martin, D8G3P. He says, I echo many of the comments here. One thing I do like, however, is that Rebellion is not, to my knowledge, using any AI art. I wish we could have the same human creativity in all RPGs. Hey, Martin, thanks for that. Yeah, I don't know if they are or not. It was just a conjecture because the art that is in the free download thing is very generic, not very good. I say that with an asterisk. I mean, it's much better than I could do, but it looks that way to me, but I don't know for sure. So if you know that they're not, that's cool. As for AI art, yeah, like I said before, I used to have a little AI animation I did for the mail call, but I took that off. As if you heard the episode 200 I did with James, I'm not a fan of art to begin with. It takes up pages, takes up expenses. When you look at the cost of getting an RPG to market, the percentage of that's art, and it adds nothing to the game. I don't get it, and it really irritates me. And I think to prove my point, I would say publish a book that's just rules with no art, and publish a book that's just art with no rules, and see which one sells better. See which one gives you a better play experience. The one with the art won't give you any play experience because it's useless. So yeah, I'm anti-art, but thanks for that message. I really appreciate it. We have another message from Steve Fugit. He says, I'm a bit late to the party, but I'm in agreement with most of the others. What has been released is not Tunnels and Trolls. It is something completely different with the same name. Yeah, I agree. Oh, thanks for the message, by the way. I agree. I mean, that was the whole point of that video, right? It is not Tunnels and Trolls. It is like the Mustang Mach-E. Is it really a Mustang? I mean, look at all the pony car Mustangs that came before it, and then look at the Mach-E. I mean, performance-wise, it will blow any of those out of the water because it's an EV, and EVs are all torque. 0 to 60, awesome. I'm an EV driver, by the way, not a Mach-E, though. But when you look at a Mach-E, you look at that and say, yeah, it's a Mustang. I mean, I can kind of see it in one of the lines on the doors, but that's it. And yeah, so why use that name? It's the same thing. So, that's me. And apparently it's you too. So thanks for that message very much. Our next message is from Jay Sarriman. And he says that the city book portion of the A New Age Kickstarter lists Nora Rose Masick. Nora Rose Masick as a contributor. Nora is a known and unrepentant plagiarist. This is really a bad look for a company like Rebellion. There are plenty of indie creators who aren't plagiarists. Google Nora Rose for details on her plagiarism. Hey, Jay Sarriman, thanks for that message. I don't know. I know nothing about her. I've never heard her name until you just mentioned it. I don't know if she's a plagiarist. I don't know. I don't know if it's a bunch of internet hoo-ha over nothing. I don't know. So I cannot comment. I will not comment. Yeah. As for the other part, though, I did not know that they were doing City Book. So for those of you who don't know, City Book was a series of accessories from Blade Publishing, which was a subdivision of Flying Buffalo. And they were locations within a city that you could pull out and use in your city. And I love stuff like that. Remember where I said I don't want your crappy game world? That's true, but this wasn't a crappy game world. These were just individual locations, and you didn't even have to use them together. And they had this whole series of them, and they were wonderful. If you did want to use them together, by the way, they did have some hooks to tie them together, but it was nothing that you could take the pub out of this book, City Book 3 or whatever, and just drop it into yours. Perfect. And it used their generic role-playing system, which wasn't a role-playing system at all, just a way to describe like how to use this character, say in TNT versus D&D or whatever. The way they describe magic and everything is pretty cool. It was an excellent series. One of my favorite lines of products ever is the City Book series. Yeah. So that they're remaking that, are they doing it good? I would hate to see that they're doing it as this one monolithic location and, it's the city. And, that would irritate me to no end. I bet that's what they're doing. I have no idea, though. Thank you very much for that message, Jay Zarman. Okay, next message is from Fox Dexter. And he says you can convert armor to dice like Mercenary Spies and Private Eyes does, or make armor degrade so it acts more like a buff, reset in between combats because of the value of armor degrades as the monster learns how to find chinks in it. Use the armor protection or account for armor restriction by getting players to allocate how much on how much they will lean on their armor and deduct half the amount from the combat roll. Warriors still doubling the result, so you decide on the defensive, allocate 2 of the total possible protection as the armor cap, lose 5 from your combat roll, or continue to use spite where 6s get through. But I think better than that is to use the pair of 5s also. So let's say you have a 3d6 weapon on a roll of 6-5-5, you lose 2 points of spite. If you had a 6d6 weapons and rolled 5, 6, 5, 4, 5, you still lose 2 points, 1 for the 6 and 2 for, and 1 for 2 of the 3 5s. Hey, Fox Dexter. So the second one you said, where you give it the armor value per combat and then it resets between combats, that's what Tunnel Quest does, and I like that. That's what I do these days. But the fact that you had all these long lists of how to deal with this proves that my point in that episode, which is armor is overpowered in newer TNT, is true, because people have come up with all these ways to work around it. This is what I was saying earlier, where the earlier editions of TNT are better, and as you go forward, they try to fix these little things, and by fixing them, they make the game worse. And that's why one edition is the best. Thank you very much for that message. Thank you for all those suggestions. It's awesome. Thanks. We have another message from Fox Dexter. He said, to clarify my comments, I still love the old editions of Tunnels and Trolls he's talking about. But if you want to stay on the similar older rules that are still evolving, Monsters is good, especially retroed with Humans. I still love TNT, Given cobwebbed orb money after they sat on it does not appeal, but I own multiples of all the old stuff, so it won't really affect me. My comment about mercenary spies and private eyes was meant to be mercenary spies, private eyes like skills. That is to say, TNT with skills/talents. I agree, I'm not diplomatic, unkind even. I won't defend it. I think Uprising Disconnected does not deserve, did not consider how existing fans would feel. I wanted it to be good and to succeed, bitterly disappointed. Hey, thanks for that. Yeah, so I do not like mercenary spies and private eyes skills at all. And we see them in Tunnels and Trolls 5.5. Do not like them. We see them again in, what was the name of it? Steve Jackson's game with, the Fantasy Trip. It looks like he pulled that skill system straight out of MSPE, if you ask me. Although I don't know the release dates, it might have worked the other way around. But I mean, Steve Jackson was involved with Tunnels and Trolls, although on the Monsters side. So yeah, I do love the talents in 7.5 though. I adore those. So do you see what's happening here? One is crunchy and fiddly, and one is very loosey-goosey and narrative, and that's me, right? I am a loosey-goosey narrative guy. In a perfect game, you never have to pick up the book at once during the session. Oh, what does this skill mean? Nope. Oh, you have a talent in Ranger? Yeah, sure, you can light a fire. But that's me, right? My play style isn't everybody's play style, so, that's fine. As for being undiplomatic, hey, everybody has their personality, and you be you, right? I'm me, you be you. I'm okay with that. And again, as for them not considering how existing fans feel, I can talk. Not caring about how existing fans felt about Tunnels and Trolls. I think you're right. I think from a business point of view, though, it doesn't matter. The existing Tunnels and Trolls fan base is old, dying off, and they're not big spenders. So from a business standpoint, I get it. But because for all those same reasons, I don't know why you named the game Tunnels and Trolls. It makes no sense. You're not attracting anybody with that name. Other than if it was just to stir up all this controversy, which maybe it was. Maybe they're trolls. Maybe. And not the good kinds like Tunnels and Trolls. Like internet trolls. Our last message is from James Cripe 1611 again. He says, is there a living facility for gamers? If so, sign me up in 20 years. So that was a response to the last time I did an all feedback episode, which was about the Tunnels and Trolls thing. And someone left a comment saying, don't worry, they still play the old editions in the old folks home or whatever. And I said, hey, that'd be a great game for it because it's simple, it's easy to learn, it's a lot of fun. I think they were trying to put me down, whatever. So he's just saying, yeah, hey, if that old folks home for gamers exists, sign him up. You know what? I'm right there with you. Yeah, so that's great. Thanks for that comment. That is all the comments. If you have anything you would like to say, if you're watching on YouTube, just comment below. If you're listening to the podcasts, it's feedback@dekahedron.com. Dekahedron is spelled with a K. Or, like I said earlier, phone number is 562 RPG Cast. Or there's another or there. Oh, you can go to sayhi.chat/dekahedron on the web. That's particularly useful if you live like overseas and you want to leave a voicemail and you can't call in. That works fine. Sorry for the pause. Distraction over here. There is a huge heron in flight, and we see them a lot in the waters around here, but don't often see them flying in just that huge wingspan and those dangling legs. It's something to see when they fly, and it distracted me. I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, you can contact me all of those ways. Thanks for listening and or watching, and until next time, happy gaming, happy life. Bye.